Hello, late night listeners. This is Brian, and I wanted to let you know that we have a Patreon. It's a really fun thing. It's a great way to support the show, and it gets you access to all kinds of exclusive stuff. We have exclusive mini episodes. We have videos of me, for example, writing music for various things of the show. Leighton's doing all sorts of stuff, and it's just a really fun community. You also get access to our Discord if you sign up for our $5 a month tier or up. So if you like the show and you like what you hear, please check us out over on Patreon. It's really a great way to support us. Thanks so much, and enjoy Late Night with Brian Wecht. It's my Don Pardo impression.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's producer Jerik here again. Sorry for Leighton and Brian's lack of professionalism, but they totally forgot to introduce who the fuck is in the episode for the second time in a row. So here I am introducing who is in the episode this time. It is I, Jerik, Leighton, and Brian. Enjoy. Wait, why did you call Leighton foot stuff?
I didn't. I had nothing to do with that. That is a Leighton original.
Yeah, well, it asked me if I wanted to enter my name because I clicked the link from the text chat and not from the email that already knows my name. Hence, foot stuff. I was going to put something much worse.
Ooh, tell me.
So in the pervert group chat that I'm a part of, which is just friends and I making terrible, extremely tasteless jokes, it's just us repeatedly getting on like Amazon Prime watch parties, and like you can see the oh, so-and-so has joined, and it always ends up being like, dog fucker has joined the chat. And then, we've had dog fucker, dolphin fucker, foot fucker, like, just a lot of really tasteful content for adults to be engaging in.
Foot stuff is pretty tame.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, it's not dolphin fucker.
No.
Wow. Well, a girl told me I have a foot fetish.
What? Okay. This is great. This is exactly the kind of stuff I wanted to get into today. Someone told you have a foot fetish, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us more about this.
Well, it was this girl that I met off Tinder.
Off footpeople.com.
Footstuff.com.
I crashed at her place and I told her, like, yo, you have nice feet.
Uh-huh.
And she just kept telling me I had a foot fetish.
It's fine to compliment. Just because you compliment and appreciate nice feet and are sexually aroused by them doesn't mean that you have a foot fetish.
It's part of the body. I mean, I feel like there's a thing where me dating men where, shit's coming off and it's always the socks come off and it's like, you know what, maybe put them back on. I'm good. I don't want to see the Hobbit feet, please. But yeah, I was also told recently, like, I think you have a hand fetish. And I was just like, no.
I've never even heard that phrase.
You do things with hands. Why would people not be like, hey, nice hands?
First of all, someone cannot diagnose you with a fetish. So, Jerik, I'm going to say you do not have a foot fetish because I think you would know. I don't think someone else would have to tell you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like this lady was projecting pretty hard.
Ooh, I should ask her if she has a foot fetish. So
I think you might have a foot fetish, lady.
We did take a picture of another person's foot that night, so.
Oh, actually, I was doing a thing for a while. I had to stop doing this because it was weirding Rachel out. This was like, 10, 15 years ago. Whenever we'd meet a friend, I would take a picture of their feet and just get this collection of friend foot stuff going on.
Oh, that's normal.
Well, I was doing it as a joke, of course. And just to have on my phone and jerk off to. It was not a sexual thing.
Just a good bit, comedy bit.
Yeah, just a good comedy bit you masturbate while looking at. And Rachel was like, dude, you have to stop that because people are starting to think it's like an actual thing.
Kind of sounds like it was an actual thing, though.
There's nothing. No, it definitely was not an actual thing. I mean, I still have the pictures and I still use them occasionally, but it's not a thing. It was never a thing.
I thought you were putting them as their like contact pictures and you just remember them as their feet.
God, that's smart.
Well, this was long enough ago that there were no contact pictures. I had like a flip phone. And so it was like,
That's even creepier. That's so much worse. The idea of having like a little burner phone that is just for foot pics.
yeah, it was my foot phone. You guys don't have a flip phone?
Oh, God. It's Monday, November 2nd, everybody. We're really going for the gold here.
Yeah, we decided that we could not subject a non-close friend to whatever this week will bring in terms of the podcast.
Yeah, and by the time this episode comes out, who knows?
Yeah, who the fuck knows? And since it was so much fun recording with Jerik, whatever, was it like a month ago? A little more, maybe?
Time is fake. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 episodes ago. It seemed like a fun hang to do the three of us again.
Yeah, some uplifting, just foot fetish chat.
Love foot fetishes. So might have to cut this out, and this might be TMI. But
Ooh, love it.
I was watching porn last night, and there was a video that was like sneaky comedy porn, and they dubbed it to Beethoven.
What? The Beethoven?
Yeah, it was like Beethoven or like some classical composer.
What was going on screen? Okay, can you describe comedy porn? Because this is...
It wasn't even like comedy porn. It was just like the scenario was like, you have the two people
just out there with very prominent feet, just hanging out, because that's the stuff you watch.
Yes. There's like two people at the dinner table, and then there's like another person like in the kitchen flashing their, private parts.
Junk, yes.
And that's like what defined as sneaky. And I think the comedic element was sneaky in Beethoven.
That's wow.
Wow. Can I just say, watch better porn, Jerik? Like,
yeah.
I just came up and I just like scrolled through. Okay. All right.
Just clicking through.
I didn't masturbate to it or anything.
There we go.
Just an academic interest, just like a little research scroll through the old Pornhub.
Yeah.
How much non-porn material is on Pornhub? So when we were looking at doing our video releases for the new NSP album, because we had a porn star in one of the videos, our PR team not super pushed it, but suggested that we might want to put the video out on Pornhub first. And I was like, no, because we don't want to cross that line. Like, we try to be real careful with NSP not to be porny,
Yeah.
I mean, I love working with porn stars. We've done a few videos with them and they're always great. But we don't want to be, explicitly like pornographic, have our videos next to porn. But it just got me curious. Like, what is on Pornhub that's just like, grandma walks dog or whatever, just like normal, I don't want to say normal, but non-porn videos.
I did a little Joker 2019 search on the old Pornhub. We got Making Joker in Fallout 4, about 16 minutes. We got Joker 2019 Ending Scenes HD.
Wow.
People will like put full movies on here. Like, I know that this is a thing.
Interesting.
Joker destroys my pussy on Halloween 2019.
There we go. Yep.
There it is. I was revisiting a really horrifying video that, like, when I was in college, like, we would just get a big group of people and sit in my dorm room and just like challenge each other to find the weirdest shit possible. And then, you just sit in a circle and you get a little circle jerk going. That was a joke, by the way. That did not happen.
Jerik, can you cut out when you edit this? Cut out that was a joke.
But there's a live action American Dad porn.
No, what?
Oh.
And you know what? I'm sorry that I'm about to drop porn in the chat right now, but I need you to see it because it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh God. No, never. Oh God. Already with the thumbnail.
They do the theme song too.
American Dad XXX.
And Exquisite Films parody.
It's just important to me that you see Roger.
Well, that Roger is great.
Do you see that like ghetto Ableton on the computer in the intro?
Oh my God, you're totally right.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, Roger looks so gross.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, when the dick comes out, it's way worse. Way worse.
Hold on, I want to hear this guy's Roger impression. Hold on.
Roger's got to maintain street cred. Now, the rainforest ain't going to save itself.
That's a bad Roger. Okay. Oh, yep, there's the dick. Wow, that is upsetting. You're never going to guess, but I believe Haley and Roger are about to have sex. Oh, yeah, I hate this. Definitely hate this.
It's pretty bad.
All right, I'm done. I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Is this whole movie basically just Haley and Roger?
Yeah, well, it's part 1, so there's more. We got a part 2, which is Francine and Jeff. You got 3, which is Stan and Angela. Wait, there's like 7 parts to this.
Oh my God.
Wow, 72% thumbs up. That's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, that's solid. Why did I bring this into this world?
I hate watching this, and I hate watching this with you two.
What, just watching a little American Dad porn between bros. World's ending, guys. Just go for it. I almost burned down my apartment last week.
Ooh.
Because that American Dad porn was so hot.
It was fire.
I'm going to drive to your house and kill you.
Cool. Please, can you do it before tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. See you there. I can be there in about 20 minutes.
Great. I'll be waiting outside blindfolded.
But I lit a little candle in my apartment because that seemed nice. And then I ended up going onto my balcony, as I do, to watch a movie with friends on my laptop. And when I came back inside, I was like, and this was like maybe 3 hours later because I forgot about the candle. I was like, holy shit, that candle smells fucking awful. And it was like pitch black in my place because the sun had gone down. And I come into my living room and I'm like, hold on.
Oh no.
Because I have like a little, not plastic, but like the fake wood, like coffee table. The candle was completely charred and the table was still smoking.
What?
And I like threw the candle outside. It must have been fully on fire is the thing.
Wait, the table?
No, the candle. Like,
oh my God.
Basically, it burned a hole into the coffee table, and I'll post a picture of it. The hole was like smoking, and like I was touching it, and it was hot, and like, oh my God, it was such a close shave where I was just like almost having a panic attack with like one of my worst fears is burning down my apartment, even though it's like a totally baseless, like irrational fear. I think, as Vernon has said to me several times, like, you get to worry about burning your apartment down once you've already burned down one of them. Like,
I don't totally agree. I mean, it's good to be careful with candles, right?
Yeah, it's important. And it was surrounded by like flammable shit. So,
yeah,
I'm grateful for my own stupidity not causing my untimely demise. I think more than anything, I was freaked out because Maybe was inside. But also, like, our dog's supposed to bark when that shit happens. And actually, I think she was barking and I was like, Maybe, be quiet.
Closest call with that I can think of is one time when I was, I don't know, 25-ish. I was house sitting for people I didn't know, like friends of friends. And I, left for the day and then came back. And since the previous night, I had left an oven burner on, lit, like not gas. I mean, it was a gas oven, but like the flame was on, so it wasn't just filling the house with gas. And this oven burner had just been on like 24 hours. It was. Oh my God! I almost had a heart attack, and nothing happened, and they never knew. And of course, I did not go out of my way to tell them because no harm, no foul. But that's definitely one of those like, holy shit, close calls that has happened. Actually, we had another one with gas recently. Over the summer, again, a friend of a friend's house in Palm Springs. It's the only time we've traveled, since COVID. So we drove out to Palm Springs, stayed at this house, and we're hanging out in the living room. And I was like, what smells like gas? And they had a gas fireplace with a very kickable switch. And someone, I think Audrey, had like kicked it and just turned on the gas. And like this house was literally filling up with gas. And we were all fine. We opened some windows, and thank God they put, odor in the gas so you can smell it. But that was another one where I felt like I was about to die because I was so scared of that. I don't know anyone personally, but people die all the time from gas leaks or stuff like that.
Yeah. My carbon monoxide detector a couple of months ago was chirping and like it was actually going off as an alarm. And I was just like, holy fucking shit, freaking out. And then I I took it off and sat outside, and I realized it was because the batteries were dead. But nothing like a good old brush with death to put the fear of God in you.
I check our stove burners every night before I go to sleep just to make sure they're really off.
Yep, same. Every time I go into my kitchen, I'm like, well, I'm wearing headphones. What if my headphones touched, or what if I accidentally touched it? And I just got to make sure that all of them are totally.
Well, I also live with a person who loves to just walk by things and turn knobs for no reason. So, you always have to be a little careful when you have a child who has no conception of anything.
Yeah, children and dogs are just constantly trying to die.
Yeah, this is not about death, but she woke up yesterday morning and we were just kind of hanging out and like cuddling and, whatever, just like morning stuff with your kid. And she looked at me in the eyes and she went, "I want coffee."
Audrey drinking coffee sounds like,
oh God,
a nightmare.
Did you give her coffee?
You know what? Actually, Jerik, I offered her a taste of coffee. This is like now once we were up and I had made coffee and stuff. I said, "If you want a taste of my coffee, you can have a taste of my coffee." And she said no.
Wow.
Yeah.
For some reason, whenever my mom made drinks, they always like tasted the best. Like her coffee, her Coca-Cola, like on ice.
Wait, what do you mean your mom made Coca-Cola? Like she poured Coke into a glass with ice?
Yeah. And for some reason, it always just tasted much better than like if I were to do it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. But is it true that coffee really stunts people's growth or kids'
I have
growth?
no idea if that's true. That's a good question. Yeah. I don't know.
I just think as a general rule, children should not drink coffee. That's for when you're an adult and have lost control of your life. You got some time to get your shit together. Speaking to the like it's better when somebody else makes it for you. I think they've done like studies on that of like if you make a sandwich, you're like, okay, sandwich. Somebody else makes you a sandwich and you're like, this is a bomb ass sandwich. I'm gonna fuck this sandwich.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it said in the study.
Well, it's like seeing how the trick is done, right? Makes it less fun.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, it's like somebody cares about you to make you food. Like that's sweet. And hopefully it's not poisoned or anything.
I think that's a real thing, Jerik. Yeah. How old were you too when you started drinking coffee, like regularly, if you did?
I was probably like 20
Mhm.
when I started drinking regularly. But I feel like lately I'm like getting immune to it again
Mhm.
because I've been drinking it consecutively for like 2 or 3 weeks every day.
It's a nightmare. I drink way too much coffee. I think I started when I was like 16 or 17. It was when I transitioned from like my all like intense to finish high school in 2 years, like honors classes, and then switched over to like, being in college classes for the last 2 years. Like I just needed it to function. And then I've just been a disgusting coffee addict since, and it's pretty bad, especially during the pandemic. It's like the one thing that I do is like there's so many walk up coffee places in my neighborhood that just to stay sane and actually get out of bed, it's like, okay, I'm going to walk and get coffee and see humans because all the baristas know my dog, and it's just nice.
Yeah, I started when I was 29, I guess. I never drank coffee regularly. And not to bring the vibe down too much, but I was home for my dad's funeral and I was like, I just need something to get through this. And then I'd had like espresso very occasionally before that, and then started regularly drinking coffee. And now it's like sometimes I'll go a year without drinking any. My rule right now, as it has been for the past, I don't know, basically since pandemic, is no coffee during the week. Weekends are fine.
Yeah.
Nothing during the week. Actually, I have the same thing with alcohol. I'm not drinking during the week. Tomorrow night, we'll see. But generally, only drinking on the weekends. I never drink that much anyway. It's just like a couple of pints of vodka.
Yeah.
The worst thing about drinking coffee is how much shits I have to take afterwards.
It's
Yes.
terrible.
It's very inconvenient.
An inconvenient shit. There's our episode title.
It's once you get into the routine of knowing you're going to have that like morning shit after your coffee, like it is sort of like, okay, I'm making a plan. I'm here. This is a meditative experience.
Yeah.
But there is truly something so like romanticized, at least for me, about not about taking the coffee shit, but about drinking coffee. Like, I mean, you know what? There is a certain amount of like romanticism to taking the morning shit, but I don't know, just the idea of having a coffee with a friend or being at a diner and just having that shitty, awful diner coffee. Like, I miss diners so fucking much.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite diners in LA?
Nick's.
Nick's? I've never been to Nick's. Where's that?
It's so good. It's like sort of downtown. It's a little bit past like Chinatown and stuff. And it's like one of those things where it's so small and it's one of those like square counters where like the kitchen is sort of in the middle and extends into the back. And so you just sit shoulder to shoulder in this tiny little diner. And like one of those, every single waitress is the sweetest, seems like they've worked there forever. And it's just like, all right, sweetie, what do you want? And it's just the fucking best. It's so good.
Nice.
So I love that place. I also really love Langer's is so good. Get that corned beef hash.
Yes. Okay. But here's the thing. Real diners do not exist outside of New Jersey.
You're correct.
Oh, yes.
You can say it's a good diner. You can call it a diner. It's not a diner. Langer's is not a diner. Langer's is a Jewish deli. So they have a diner vibe. I will grant that.
Yeah.
It is not an actual diner. Real diners are located within the state borders of New Jersey.
And only there.
Open 24 hours, have a 20-page menu, 3 of which are like reasonably orderable from.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've discussed this.
Yes.
There's a whole thing that I could get into here, but LA definitely does not have diners. It has vague approximations of diners. And there are plenty of quote unquote diners in Jersey that are not real diners either. And I'm talking about ones that close. Like if you close in the middle of the night, go fuck yourself. You're not a diner.
That's what diners are for you to go in the middle of the night and you're like a little drunk. Like, okay, so there's a diner in my neighborhood that I won't name because it's in my neighborhood that I was so excited when I moved here because I was like, oh my God, I have a diner within walking distance. That's awesome. When I first moved here, it had all of the like original wood paneling, like glittery vinyl seats and
very good.
The, like 6-page menu that was super long. And then it changed hands. They gutted the entire place and replaced it with like fake shitty diner stuff.
Like 50s stuff?
Yeah, it's like the ugly, like white and teal.
Fuck that. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, and now the menu is literally like 1 page. It's disgusting. Now that we're 9 months into this bullshit, I just am like, oh, I'm so sorry about all the times I complained about you. I just want to sit in there and see my favorite waiters and waitresses and drink my shitty coffee and have my shitty overpriced hash browns, please, God.
The closest thing I've been to a real diner here is Pan's. Have you guys ever been to Pan's?
No.
No, is that P-A-N-S?
Yeah, P-A-N-N-S. You've seen it in movies. It's like real googie 60s kind of architecture.
Ooh, wow, I love that.
I think it's in Inglewood. If not, it's right next to it. And it is not open 24 hours. In fact, I think it's not even open for dinner. I think it's just breakfast and lunch, but it's awesome. The decor is unreal. Great.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. Was this in like Mad Men or something?
It's in everything. Like it was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. I think it was.
I'd believe it.
I think The Rock hangs out with his daughter there. You've seen it in tons of places. It's probably in Mad Men. Anything that's set in the 60s that's filmed in LA is going to have a scene there. It's great. That's the closest I found here. Okay, so Jerik, last time you joined us, you had these amazing bits, which you had ideas for. And I'm curious.
Okay.
Do you have any other bit ideas? Or should we do some of those bits we did last time? Because I thought they were all bangers. Like, I love that.
Yeah, I got to pee real quick, though. I have a small bladder.
A little peeing music.
Piss. Piss, piss, piss.
Just a little bossa nova peeing music for you.
All right, your boy is back.
Yes.
That was an efficient piss.
Yeah, wow. Real impressive, bro. I tried to say bro, but I said bro.
I grew up in high school with my dad, and he told me I have to sit when I pee.
Huh?
It's more convenient. It's like way cleaner.
Wait, you sit when you pee?
Yes, just at home.
I have a male friend who does that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you two are men. The concept of urinals is very strange to me. How often do you see strangers' dicks?
Well, very simple. They're beverage dispensers that exist in all these men's room, and they're full of some of the sweetest, most delicious fluid you'll find anywhere on God's green earth.
I mean, yeah, after your green tea story, it's like you gotten a taste for the stuff.
What can I say? I'm a piss drinker. It's my license plate, piss drinker.
I hate using urinals. It's the worst thing on the planet. Privacy's sake, and I don't like the thought of splash back onto me.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Leighton, do you see a bunch of dicks? No, generally no, you don't. So there are some penis people, which I will use as a more inclusive term, who when they use a urinal, do not hold their dicks, and this is baffling to me.
What?
Like, Jerik, you must have seen this, right? Like, you're in the men's room and someone's peeing next to you, and some people put their hand on the wall, which to me seems very, very upsetting.
That's gross as fuck.
Why touch another surface in a bathroom? I've definitely seen dudes, almost always older guys, like unzip, hand on the wall, like they're reaching out for support. And these are not people who look frail otherwise. These are not people who need the extra support. It's just like a thing they do. Some people, and this is really, really wild to me, just like unzip and start peeing, and their hands are nowhere near their dicks. And it's like,
Wow.
what is even going on right now?
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars, no handlebars.
Most people, though, when they're using a urinal, will be aiming slightly. No one's really looking down except for me. And when you're holding your dick, your hands are covering it. So you don't see that many dicks. And people don't walk away from the urinal dicks out and then zip up in front of the sink. Like, again, except for me. That's just part of my deal.
Oh, wow. I have like the performance anxiety of shitting in public bathrooms. Like I can't handle it.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
I never want to do it. And even that makes me uncomfortable. So the idea of just dicks out is nightmarish.
Men's rooms are the worst places on earth.
Oh, yes, I agree.
And God forbid you have to go into one in like a public park or a beach, because it is hell on earth. I must have told this story. Maybe not though, but I was this is a few years ago. So Audrey was like 3. I took her to a park and she had to go pee. So we went into a bathroom at this park. I can't remember where it was, but like a big bathroom where there's a bunch of, it's like individual rooms, but there's an overarching ceiling. So each individual bathroom kind of has the same roof. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, where there's like a little bit of a crossover.
Yeah. So I take her to the bathroom because she needs to pee. And this was actually not a particularly gross bathroom, but it wasn't a great bathroom. And then I was like, you know what? I'm here. I will pee as well. And because I am clean and believe in hygiene, I decide to wipe myself off after I pee. And which I do occasionally. You're dripping a little, you got to do it. Not to be too explicit, but sometimes you need to do it. And Audrey watches me do this and says very audibly, in such a way that the people in the other stalls can hear, she goes, "Daddy, stop pulling on your penis." And I'm like, "Oh, ha ha ha. No, honey, I'm not pulling on it." And then she goes, "You're pulling on it so hard." And I was like, I am about to be arrested. I'm going to walk out of here and I'm going to get arrested, because there's definitely kids in the other rooms that are hearing this go on. And I quickly zip up and try to get out of the bathroom as fast as possible before anyone can see who I am. And as we're walking out of the stall, she's like, "Daddy, you were pulling on your penis in there." And we passed these families on the way out, and I was like, "We have to leave now, because something is going to happen if we don't stop." It was an all-timer parenting moment.
That is a complete nightmare. That's worse than the hygienic state of the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so how do you line your toilets? This is kind of a 2-part question.
In public bathrooms?
Yes. So with the toilets to cover, do you put the tongue by your crotch or by your butt?
I don't use them.
You don't use them? Oh,
Nope, I don't.
that's where I was going with this. Is it true that like bacteria, there isn't enough time for bacteria to build up on the toilet seat?
I actually don't know the answer to this. My attitude towards public toilet seats is if it's really gross, I just won't even go anywhere near it. Like if it's very upsetting, which happens all the time in men's rooms, I'm just not involved. If it's like there's drops on it, which is often just from splashback from
Mhm.
the water, not
Mhm.
pee necessarily, I'll just wipe it off and then go from there. But no, I don't use the toilet seat covers. I feel like there's not much point, but I could very well be wrong. I could be wrong about the science on that, and I could also be. I'm curious if I'm in the minority or the majority in terms of using those or not.
I'm finding more and more people don't use toilet seat covers. That's where
I
I'm
feel like I
seeing
don't
the-
see them anymore.
Really?
Not as much, yeah. I think I
Hmm.
agree with that.
So my question was, Leighton, how do you put toilet seat covers on? Do you put the, that like flappy thing? Do you put it in front of you or behind you?
I don't think I've ever used one in my life.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. And you use them all the time, Jark?
Yeah, I double line my toilet if I have to poo in a public restroom. And where I was going with this was, it's not common knowledge, but the tongue, that flap that you press through,
Yeah.
it goes in front of you.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Sure.
Well, I don't like calling it the tongue.
Okay.
Why? It's the tastiest part.
You're right. Excuse my language. The flap.
The licky
Flap.
part.
This is potentially the worst episode we've ever done.
Yeah, let's do some bits.
Yeah, let's do some comedy bits.
So what do you got, Jarek? What do you got for us?
Derek Hit Corner. Yay. Derek Hit Corner.
I have What's in Your DMs, which is kind of just a spin off What's in Your Spam folder.
Ooh.
Oh my God, I would love to read those.
Which means you will. Great. Okay. Moving on. Read.
I don't know. This is kind of a delicate thing because I don't want to make people upset, but also people say some insane shit to me.
If you feel comfortable, Leighton, no identifying information about the person that said that stuff, that said whatever. But if you have weird shit you want to read, I would love to hear it.
Okay, I'm going to read you this one that I got the other day because it's special. All right. One day I hope to fall in like with you and you feel the same mutually. I wouldn't want anything more in the world than to have you be the cause of my mysterious disappearance. I will mope and be a sad boy, with an I, 24/7, but when you look away I'd smile because I'd appreciate every moment I know I'll never have with you. Anyway, that's my TED Talk. I thank you for coming out here to listen to me babble like a moron. Stay safe, stay woke, and whatever else is the hippie haps.
What? That is
Haps.
baffling to me. I legitimately don't understand what just happened.
Neither do I.
Hippie haps?
Yeah.
Like, can we take that one sentence at a time? Because I'm trying to process it.
Yeah. We can do that. And buddy, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sorry, but I want you to know that you shouldn't send shit like this to women on the internet. Like,
Yes.
just as a baseline thing, don't do that shit, maybe.
Can we ask, now this again might be a generational thing, DMing someone you don't know to like hit on them.
Mhm.
Bad generally, right?
Yes.
Always,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
That's where I would 100% fall. But I don't know what you kids do. Like maybe that's cool now.
No, I love to get an unsolicited dick pic. That's my favorite.
But no, I'm not talking about unsolicited dick pics. I'm not talking about violent language or anything like that. I'm just talking about in general. Is it okay to DM someone and be like, "Hey, I like you"? To me, I would say I would never do that, and I would never encourage someone to do that. But I don't know if that's me being old.
No, it's fucking weird.
Okay, great. That's what I thought. Cool.
Same boat.
It's funny because I get a bunch of these and now I can't find them because, people actually send me normal shit most of the time. It's just sometimes. And there are people who respond to like every single thing I post and then we'll do the like, I'm so in love with you. You'd be like my dream girlfriend. I got one that was like, I just like, all I want to do is have like a sushi dinner date with you and like we watch a horror movie and you tell me about mechanical keyboards.
That's upsettingly specific.
Yeah, they're like very specific like date fantasies. And also like especially recently, like I know I talk about stabbing and murder a lot. But that means that dudes think it's okay to be like, I want you to murder me.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's always the like, step on me. I want you to stab me.
Wait. For real murder? Like as a sex thing?
As a sex thing, yeah. Like, I get it. We're 9 months into quarantine. You all are horny. I'm hot. Like, you don't got to do this. You don't got to do it.
I like that a lot. I get it. Y'all are horny and I'm hot. That's great. That's a great take.
Yeah. There is one specific person that I will accept it from right now. And it's because it's a mutual thing. It's like, I'm going to stab you. And then they're like, I'm going to stab you. And like, yeah. But randos, I don't want it.
Yeah.
For the record.
For the record, just like, stop. I think I've been spared a lot of shit that women have to deal with. I've never gotten an unsolicited dick pic. I'm not looking to change that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking to me, honestly.
Yes, I know. It's shocking to me too. It's mostly just weird, like manic pixie dream girling
Mm-hmm.
of just like, oh, you like mechanical keyboards and hobby electronics and horror movies. That's so cool. And it's like, you are correct. I am extremely cool and attractive, but you should shut the fuck up.
I have a good hinge.
Yeah, do it.
Please.
This is a dream that I had that I told this girl. I think she also likes Shia LaBeouf too.
Oh, right. I forgot about your thing.
Oh, yeah. This is how it went. So in my dream, I was at Dodger Stadium and Shia walks up wearing a purple hoodie with yellow lettering that says NYC, athletic shorts, and open-toed shoes. He was scraggly looking, the kind where he just got out of bed, and he was on the phone speaking in Spanish.
That's it.
That was my dream about Shia LaBeouf.
Wow.
How'd she react?
She didn't reply, so
Wow.
pretty bummed about that, but that was a pretty good dream.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a really weird dream, and then I woke up, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta tell Leighton this. So I had this dream where I was with my dad, and we went to this like random empty lot. And in this empty lot were like people's feet that were just like cut off.
Wait. Okay. Now you have my. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Okay.
So all these like people's like cut off feet were just like in this circle. And so we looked down into this like circle, which like was a trench. And then you could see into like this weird stairwell basement. And you could see these like nuns walking in the dark. One nun had clearly like locked up this like room. And I turned behind me and this like magic castle like pops up. And me and my dad are like walking around, and I guess the nun sees us, and then this random cheerleader comes up in our face and like asks us, "What are you doing?" And then it comes to find out she's like an evil cheerleader working with a nun.
Uh-huh.
And so this nun opens up that like gate door that me and my dad saw her lock up. And all these like evil cheerleaders start flying around us, and they kill my dad. And then I'm like hiding in the spire. And then all like the evil flying cheerleaders go away after they kill my dad. And there's this guy from like the local college's like newspaper who comes to do a report on those feet that are like lying around that me and my dad saw earlier in the dream.
The level of detail here is really shocking, by the way, that you remember this well enough.
It's very cinematic.
Yeah, and then that one cheerleader who like came in like got in our face in the beginning, she like goes and greets this guy, and he like figures out that it's a trap. And the same shit happens. All these like evil cheerleaders fly and eat him, and then his feet become a part of that circle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the cycle continues.
Wow.
And then I woke up and I don't know why, but I was like, God, Leighton would get a kick out of this.
Well, it rules.
You're correct.
That's hot stuff.
Yeah, sounds hot.
Sweet.
There's something I wanted to discuss with the two of you, because I saw this recently, and it may be the worst thing I've ever seen online.
Go on.
It is Harry Knowles' review of Blade 2. All right, so it's in the chat. Well, actually, before you start reading, hold off for a second. Do you know who this guy is?
No.
It sounds familiar.
He was this very influential film critic.
Oh, yeah.
I had the site Ain't It Cool News, which was a big like geek site in the early 2000s. Like I used to check the site all the time. He is now completely disgraced and had a bunch of like, bad harassment accusations and things like that. So he is just completely discredited now. But for a while, he was like a very important figure in geek culture. So it was a question on my online trivia league mentioned this. And I was like, what is this? So I decided to look it up. Do you both have it ready to rock?
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
Would you like me to read this?
Yes, actually, I would love that.
This is a
Read
nightmare.
it from the top.
From the brief skim I just did, this is a nightmare. Yeah, I remember the name because I talked about him in Deep Cuts because he did like a review of like broke the story on ARG.
Yes.
That's what it was.
This really may be the worst thing I've ever read. And it's very exciting that you're going to read it.
All right. Blade 2 review published at March 17th, 2002, 6 p.m. Very important. A warning. Blade 2 is an R-rated movie. This is the NC-17 review of it. You have been warned. For me to review Blade 2, it is a major conflict of interest because Guillermo del Toro and I are brothers. His father says so. His wife believes this. Guillermo and I are just the best of friends, but when El Gordo calls my father Dad and I call his dad Pops, and we delve into hours of passionate discussion about H.P. Lovecraft, Goya, Steve Ditko action, the movies, and pussy, we can lose all track of time on planet Earth. But having attended the world premiere of Blade 2 last night, one inescapable thought crossed my mind during the movie. 10-1. I believe Guillermo del Toro eats pussy better than any man alive. What? Okay. Watch his House of Pain sequence in Blade 2. Blade 2. Every time Blade 2 is mentioned in this review, it's all caps. Blade 2 is the tongue, mouth, fingers, and lips of a lover. The audience is the clit. Watch your audience. This is where Guillermo del Toro goes down on the audience. It starts with long licks with a nose bump on the joy button slowly. He smiles as he does this, watching the audience begin to squirm. Then he takes the audience's clit in his mouth and just licks it like crazy. The audience is ready, on that precipice, then calm. He backs off, long licks again, brings in a finger to massage a bit, licks from the bottom to the top. The audience is cooing. He has them. They want release. He acts like he's going to give it to you, takes you right to the edge. The audience's back's arched, ready to come, backs off, pinching the nipples just so, his head bobbing up to say, you like. The audience shifts around, needing release. He builds again, the pressure at a near boiling point. Each stroke and moment, a hypersensitive place. 2 fingers to the sweet spot. The audience is there, right there at that point, and suddenly he's relentless, taking the audience through a rampage of orgasms, trying to get away, trying to escape, back, but he has you, and he's never going to let you forget this moment. The audience was electric, frenetically frothing. Guillermo hears them begging no more when he decides to stop for a moment. There is that relaxed calm. The audience relaxes, labored breathing, a sated smile, when suddenly the relentless bastard is at it again. It was all caps, 4 exclamation marks. You begin laughing, trying to push him away, but no, more pleasure, more joy, more fun. You can't handle it. You start giggling and screaming. And it goes like this for quite some time till at the end, the credits roll, the theater lights come up, you look at the screen, you realize you want that tongue again, you want that feeling again, and you watch it again and again because damn, he respects the clit.
I mean, this goes on for a long time.
This is so long.
It is so long, and it's all that. It's just awful.
Oh, and I love that with the scroll bar, it is minuscule. It is all of the comments.
He respects the clit.
Why would any human being write this? It's
why?
This guy was supposed to be like a major film reviewer at the time. I remember when Siskel died, he was like in the running to be one of the replacements, I think. And now it turns out he's just a complete monster.
Sex pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny because before Roger Ebert's untimely death, he was working on this incredible review of Joker 2019, which is crazy that he had somehow gone into the future and seen it. And just talked about how Todd Phillips is really tickling the balls, how he's working the shaft, like just it was the peak of film criticism and the world wasn't ready for it, so he had to die.
Can you just read the last sentence of the review, please, Leighton?
Hope you enjoyed Guillermo del Toro's tongue. I mean, Blade 2. You'll be back for seconds.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw this and thought of you both.
Hellboy is deep dicking.
I was just looking at that phrase. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Reinhardt
So-
is a glorious bastard in this film. Just a fantastic ass of a man. I saw a fantastic ass of a man today. I feel like a lot of men have pancake butt. It's very flat.
Okay.
And sometimes you got somebody with the caboose. They got the cupcake butt.
Mhm.
And this dude had the cupcake butt and he was rocking it. He had short shorts on. I really think we need to bring short shorts back for men. Like, let's go full 70s crop top short shorts.
How short? Like you can see butt cheek or what?
No, not that short. But
Like above knee.
yeah. It's just
Yeah.
like, damn, dude.
Jerik, wait, hold on. Can you just say butt meat again, please?
Who?
You.
Oh, butt meat?
Again, please.
Butt meat.
Yeah, one more time.
I'm close. Say it again.
Butt meat.
Yes.
Oh, we did it.
I think I've gotten catcalled for my butt
They've really?
in Hollywood.
Really?
Yes, I have.
By women or by men?
I think it was by a guy. I clearly remember this. I was at Guitar Center.
First of all, very cool.
Yeah.
The coolest place to be on earth.
Yeah.
I've been told I have a nice butt. Not to brag or anything, but
No, you're allowed to brag. You should take pride in it.
my friend Natalia calls me Pumpitas because of my plush booty. I get it from my dad.
Wow.
We,
My fat ass, like my father before me.
Rachel and I talk all the time. Like Audrey has these thick little legs because Rachel and I both have fairly large legs. And it is so cute to see this little kid with these like massive thighs who's just like walking around kicking shit. I love it. You know, you have one kid, you don't know what other kids are like. And she was hanging out with some friend. And I was like, that kid has stick legs. Look at that tiny legged kid. And then we have these like ham hocks on our daughter, which are,
These daughter ham hocks are going to kick this twig's ass.
yeah, she does all these like, she's pretty strong. Like she can do all these like core things, which are just very impressive, like hanging and lifting her legs up at a 90-degree angle.
I see like a future with her being like volleyball or softball or boxing. Like,
Boxing. Oh shit.
Yeah.
this is a scrappy kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's a scrapper and she's not afraid to use emotional manipulation to take people down.
That's important. That's like the home movies Coach McGurk scene. You know which one I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to send it to you so you can watch.
Punch low. Always punch low. That
Okay.
means below the waist.
Right.
Get him in the legs or in the crotch. Do stuff like that.
Do you think that's dirty fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. But there's nothing wrong with dirty fighting.
Really?
That's right.
Mm.
I
You know
love
what?
it so
'Cause
much.
fighting is
This
wrong.
is great.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to fight, you're already wrong.
Yeah.
So if you're going to dirty, you might as well dirty fight.
Yeah.
Because you're already there.
Yeah.
You're already at the party.
Right. Right.
I was in a fight last week.
Really? How'd it go?
I won.
Really?
Yeah.
Who'd you fight?
That kid David.
The forward?
Yeah. He cannot fight.
Yeah. But he's got a big mouth, coach.
Well, not anymore. He doesn't.
Right.
You know, but mostly fighting, it's a mental game.
Really?
Brendan, you're a smart kid.
Yeah, I know.
You're not a tough kid. You're not a strong kid. You're not a fighter.
Right.
But you may have a mental edge over your opponent, and that's what you got to use.
Like what?
Like, for instance, if I fought somebody, I would say, hey, look.
Mm-hmm.
The guy will look, and then I will hit him.
Right.
That's a mental game.
I know what you mean.
But I don't know. Brendan, you're a smart kid. You improvise.
This is
Yeah,
improvised,
that's what
right?
I
I
planning
mean,
on.
give me something.
It certainly seems
say I
like it.
come up to you, right?
Okay.
I give you a little shove, and I say, hey, come on, let's go.
Okay.
You got to think on your feet here,
All
Brendan.
right. I got one.
All right, what do you got? Go ahead.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful.
All right, so in that situation, Brendan, I'm going to kill you.
All right.
What you did there was more weird.
I tried to just do something strange that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
When I am in a bad mood, I just watch like Coach McGurk compilations.
Have you listened to his jazz album?
No, he has a jazz album.
Jerik, you must know about this, right?
Who's jazz record?
H. John Benjamin.
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's called I Really Should Have, asterisk, Learn to Play Piano. And it is him playing the piano, and he is not a piano player. Like, he literally doesn't know what he's doing. And it's him and I think it's like drums, bass, sax. Maybe there's another person in the combo, but it's basically three super legit jazz guys and him, and he is trying to keep up with these dudes and completely failing.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I'm listening to I Can't Play Piano Part 1.
Yeah. It is way too long for the bit. Like it's a great idea. The fact that he turned it into a full album
Wow.
is astonishing. Torp loves it.
Oh, of course they do.
It's one of Torp's favorite things, which is not surprising.
I like how the top comment on I Can't Play Piano Part 1 is the funniest thing is that he kind of almost has it sometimes.
Yes, so that's why I feel like it would be better if he was worse. He clearly has some sense of like rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
He has no idea what he's doing harmonically, but he kind of sometimes sort of gets close to something, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like makes it worse.
You know, and I'm really glad this has been such a disgusting episode for this disgusting week in American history.
Yeah, who knows?
We're all going to need a release on Friday, and just thoughts come.
I think we've talked enough about release in this episode.
God, I was rewatching Climax the other night, the Gaspar Noé movie about dance troupe in the snow that somebody spikes the sangria with a bunch of LSD and shit goes very wrong. I fucking love that movie. It's so good.
I've never even heard of this.
It's very, very, very good. There's like an opening dance scene that is one of my favorite things in the world. Like it's really good. And I love that movie especially because it's very like Giallo inspired. It's I love any movie where everyone goes crazy, but like it's all non-actors, almost completely improvised. They would just pick dancers out. And they were like, okay, so your thing is kind of like your brother wants to have sex with you, go. And like they would just feel it out. It's pretty delightful. Anyway, I was rewatching it with Vernon on Discord, and by the end of it, like credits were rolling, and I was like, all right, I gotta go. Thanks for climaxing with me. And then he hung up on me very abruptly. I don't understand what's weird about that.
Yeah. So I'm looking through my spam folder.
Oh, yes. Because I want to hear the Spam-A-Lot theme song again.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Hark, fellow travelers, and welcome to the bit known as Spam-A-Lot!
Here's some excerpts from my spam folder. This one I like. The subject line is, if you don't fuck me, someone else will.
Whoa!
Which, like, great. Congratulations for you. And then the body of the email says, I want to give you a hard-on all day. I'm sure I can. Just come and see. I have this fantasy of us. Do you want to hear it? The way this is written, it says, let stuck your clothes in the washer, and then you can fuck me on top of it. And then there are some pictures, along with, quote, other girls I might like. And it says, Monica, 31, comma, woman. Jade, 28, comma, woman. Jennifer, spelled Jeniffer. Jennifer with one N and two Fs. 25, comma, woman. And each of these has the option for naked photo and naked video.
Whoa.
Yes.
Bunch of emails with the subject line, want to date a Russian woman? Join for free.
Jeez.
Theoretical physics, as always.
I have a non-horny one.
Yes, go.
Subject line, do not think it this way. Hi there, how are you? Hope this meets you well. You're probably wondering who I am. That's fine, I'm here to help. I don't know if this landed in the famous S folder, but if it did, it's okay. A lot of people dread anything that lands in the S folder, or what I term the italics, the phantom zone. And it's fine, given the manner and approach of some folks, but it shouldn't be so. Our various email service providers sometimes make some mails land in the phantom zone, and these mails might have been landing in your inbox previously. Sometimes they land in the other tab too, the famous P tab. The thing is, I believe every aspect of your mail is important. One time when I landed a life-changing deal, I was facing a whole lot of challenges. I was broke, depressed, and going through hell, but I still pushed. Then this deal came, an email from a potential client, and guess where it landed? The phantom zone. For 2 days, the email sat in my S folder.
What is going on?
I don't know. For some weird reason, that fateful day, I ran through the mails in that folder, and that was it. I went through the contents of the email and replied as fast as I could in order to not lose out on the deal. Imagine if I didn't go through my spam mail. I'm not saying you should click on everything in your mail. Most times when I check my mails in that folder, I don't bother going through everything. I look out for mails that are unique or some from inbox that found themselves in that folder. Then I whitelist them. So what I'm saying is if this landed anywhere apart from your inbox, it's fine. My sole aim is to provide value and help. This is because I understand you have an interest in video marketing, according to Twitter. And that will be what I'll be talking about in my emails. You'll need to whitelist it so you get my mails directly to your inbox. That's all. Cheers, Kenneth. P.S. By the way, I've got something amazing for you in my newsletter. Anticipate. Don't forget to whitelist my mail so as to save you the stress of scrambling through your mail for it. And then it's the exact same text, like copied again.
Wow.
I've never gotten one like that.
That is bizarre.
Have you gotten anything in the Vor Ninja email yet?
Yeah, actually, people sent some very vory stuff. I respond to everybody that writes, and I either say, thank you, this is of no interest to this account, or I say, thank you for your message. I find this extremely interesting. And the criteria I use to determine that are, is it about both Vor and Ninja? If the answer is yes to both, then I like it. So let's see, are there any new Vor Ninja emails? Yes.
Fabulous.
Wow.
There is. This one is just it's just a subject line, and it says, thank you so much for quickly devouring people. Someone tried to rickroll me in a very obvious way.
I don't have anything good, but somebody keeps sending me recipes.
Ooh. Are they good?
Steps to make easy mushroom risotto.
Yo.
Okay, here's something someone sent. It just says, here's my story. I will not be apologizing. One day, Ninja Brian was hungry. He wanted to eat something, but his house was empty. He saw his feet and decided that feasting time was upon him. He also decided that, like Rasputin, he wanted to pickle his penis, so he did. Some say that it's still pickled somewhere, in Ninja Brian's house somewhere. And he also ate himself until he couldn't anymore, and he internally combusted.
That's beautiful.
The end. I thought there would be more general ninja content, but most of the Vor Ninja stuff, I actually haven't looked at the Twitter because in a very telling move, my Twitter app said you have enough accounts linked on this app already. So I couldn't install anymore. But I've been checking the email pretty regularly. And I was surprised that it's almost all Ninja Brian stuff, not just general Vor Ninja stuff.
I can't believe you didn't anticipate this.
I can't believe I didn't either. It seems obvious in retrospect, but yeah.
I'm looking through my Twitter drafts.
Oh, I've got some NSP Twitter. Yeah, so let's do the Twitter drafts segment.
Twitter drafts. Tweet.
Unsure if my headache is hangover or Democrats.
That's a good one.
One that just says, thinking about time. One that says, like asterisks around the action, tips bowler hat, and a good weed to you, sir. I should go back to therapy.
Here's a tweet that I tweeted that people did not get. It's from NSP. It says, actually, Ninja Brian thinks that Pennywise made a lot of good points and enacted some real changes in Derry.
I saw that one.
Which
I didn't understand it either.
It's it. It's a reference to it. And Pennywise is the child-eating clown.
Yeah, of course.
All right, here's some NSP drafts. Are we ready for these?
Of course.
Yes.
Wow. Ooh, there are some rough ones in here. Elephants are tons, all caps, of fun.
Jesus Christ.
Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 had a lot of issues and didn't get therapy, so it'd actually be more accurate to say 6 was afraid for 7. Really, they just wanted their friend to be healthy and live a fulfilling And it just stops.
I love that. I really like that.
That's good.
One that just says, hey, friendly reminder that if you support these things, and then the tweet stops.
Here's another NSP draft. It says, pump your stump till your cum lumps dump.
No.
Ooh.
Yep.
No. No.
Another NSP draft. Oh, wait, your name is Timothy? Yeah, good luck with that.
Watching Eraserhead ... Damn, that David Lynch guy sure is weird. LOL XD.
I like that. Do that. You should tweet that.
Do you ever go through Dory's tweets?
Yes, he is the best at Twitter. I love his Twitter.
He has like literally the best Twitter, and I'm going to read some of them because they're one of the best ones. In the 90s, cookies and cream was king. What the fuck happened? Another favorite is watching hashtag Twin Peaks The Return, ! A bunch of times. Who the fuck is Laura Palmer? LOL. And then just reply, oh shit, she died. Crying emoji.
That's great.
It's so good. I highly recommend that everyone look through Jory's account.
Okay, here's another NSP draft. This is a conversation between two people. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, ¿y tú? Muy bien. ¿Quieres butt sex? Sí, por favor. Here's one that just says, ladies got feet.
You're not wrong.
Yes. Keeping up with the theme.
Why have I not tweeted that? I wonder why. I started to rewrite Beowulf, but replace a lot of the words with dumb sex jokes.
Shocking.
Wait, I don't know how to pronounce Old English. Wait, we hard penis in rear de bum. And then I stopped.
Yeah, that's probably appropriate for you to have aborted that bit.
Famously, the first word of Beowulf is this word, which is pronounced something like wait. It's HW, that combined AE thing, T, which in Old English is some kind of like just signal to listen. And apparently in a new translation of Beowulf by, I can't remember the woman's name, she translates it in, it's kind of this like bro speak thing. So she translates that first word, that call to attention, as bro, which is awesome.
That makes it much better.
Yeah, people say this translation is great. It's pretty new. It's just like the last couple of months that I've been meaning to read it, but I love it. Is this episode boring? I feel like it might be. I don't know.
I think it's chaotic enough.
Yeah.
And also, y'all are just going to have to deal with it because this is what the episode is. Speaking of Jory, my phone, I have like a Pixel. So, Google Photos app or whatever. And it's like, here's what you were doing 1 year ago, which is very frustrating in the time of COVID where it's like, you dumb bitch, you oblivious baby-faced motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you.
But it was just a single image of the floor of Jory's home with a snapped in half House of Cards DVD. And it was because we, would walk, we would get some like musubi or we'd get portos and like just have a nice long chat about how much we hate movies and just kind of segue into drinking whiskey and watching bullshit. And there was one time where we went to a Goodwill. We were going to watch Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me on Blu-ray, like the shit that was taken out of it, like the missing pieces or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't have a Blu-ray player. And so we went to Goodwill, bought one, brought it back. House of Cards DVD was in there. We watched like 2 seconds of it just to hate it. And then he ejected it, immediately dropped it on the ground and stepped on it, which is like the most violent thing I've ever seen Jory do. But like it just destroyed me because I was not expecting it at all.
That's great.
Should we do segments of the show instead of just talking about piss and P-taps?
Yeah, let's do What's Poppin'. And I'm going to play the theme song.
What's poppin'?
What's Poppin'? Great.
Wops poppin'.
Yeah. Did you redo that theme song? Or are you just calling it that, Jerik?
I just called it that.
I love it. Jerik, what's poppin'? Or sorry, WAP's pop.
WAP
or WAP?
It's WAP.
Yes, WAP. Okay, great. WAP's poppin'.
Okay. WAP's poppin' is, I've got a couple, they're like good, bad.
Great.
So I watched Holiday with Emma Roberts.
Is that like a Christmas movie?
It's like a holiday movie. Yeah. It's like typical like Hallmark vibe fucking bullshit.
I did not realize her dad is Eric Roberts. Did you know that?
Who's Eric Roberts?
Click on Eric Roberts. You've seen him and stuff.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
His younger sister is Julia Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my friend Anna, that's like our celebrity crush, but we've come to realize that she is a bad actor. I like cringe watched that. I cringe watched Emily in Paris.
What is that?
It's Lily Collins. She basically moves to Paris for a job.
Oh, is this when she's like the marketing person who's just like brilliant and there's no conflict?
Yeah, basically. Well, there's that Emily in Paris, and then I listened to the Ariana Grande record. I didn't like it, but
Why not?
it's just like basic pop. But I will admit there are really cool string arrangements that I think you might like.
Okay, we'll check it out.
The last song of the record, it's called POV. The modulations from different parts of the song. So the intro and verses start off in like the relative minor, and then the chorus, typical moves to the major.
Mhm.
But there's a really cool like chord change. So typical like pop songs go like 1-4-5, but this one goes like 1-3-6.
Mhm.
And I was like, ooh, that like felt really good. Just not typical pop.
Cool. I don't think I've ever listened to an Ariana Grande song like just on its own. I'm sure I've heard them around, but I couldn't tell you anything about her.
Yeah, Seven Rings and Thank You Next got a lot of play. And I really like both of those songs. They're very catchy.
I know her sisters, Ariana Tall and Ariana Venti.
That's so good.
Hell yeah, it is. That's an old NSP tweet.
I also think we have the exact same joke in Dream Daddy, which actually, like, Brian, you helped name a bunch of the pun drinks in Dream Daddy.
The one I remember was Godspeed You Black Coffee.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What are the other ones?
Froyo, Latango.
Oh, yes.
Hot Cocoa Rosie.
That's right. I remember coming up with these with you and Vernon.
Yeah, you like wandered over and we were like, yo, pun man, help us. But yeah, there's a thing about the sizing of like, you can get Ariana Grande or Biggie Smalls. And then it's like, is that big or small? And he's like, oh, you're right. That is confusing.
Leighton Waps Poppin.
Waps Poppin' for me is Kim Petras' album Turn Off the Light, which I had heard like a couple of her songs before, but I had never like dove into it. But like this album, it's like goth bubblegum pop with like lots of synths.
Ooh.
All the songs are about fucking and dying. It's just like really solid and has been very inspirational to me, like musically, because it's some dark fatty synths in there. And yeah, I've just been super enjoying it. And also on the same turn, I've just been trying to find like good things that use a lot of like fat vintage synths and like synthy organ sounds, just because I love that shit so much. So I was listening to some like 80s Russian, like Soviet pop songs. And that was pretty interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what's popping. Brian, what's popping?
What's popping for me is it's an album by Deodato, who is I believe he's Brazilian. So he has an album from 1979 called Nights of Fantasy, where just Google Deodato, Deodato, Nights, Knight, of Fantasy, and look at that album cover.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I love how every single one of your What's Poppins are like, look at this album cover.
Yeah. Well, from the, late 70s, there's a lot of great album covers. All of his albums have some like classical music done in like a synthy or disco style. Ooh. This one has a track called Bach Mania on it, and they're all great. So he has a bunch of albums from the late 70s, early 80s, which are all fantastic. But this one is my favorite, Nights of Fantasy. So for those of you who can't see it, so there's like a black and white checkered floor looking out over, what would you call that?
I'd say sunset.
Yeah, I guess. And there's I can't even tell what that thing is. Is it a dragon or what's the red thing?
Dude, it looks like legs holding like vinyl records.
Yeah, that was my read.
Well, there's definitely like legs. A woman's legs are very prominent in the foreground of this picture.
But the thing popping out of the sky looks like legs coming out of the sky, like gripping onto vinyl records.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Now I can see it better. I never really read what that was. So yeah, it's very sexual.
Absolutely.
Yes. I love it.
All right. So peaches and lemons.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Peaches and lemons. Peaches and lemons.
I'll go first. My peach, hopefully, is that Joe Biden won the election.
Mm-hmm.
And who the fuck knows if that's really going to be true or not?
Don't know if that's going to age well.
Yeah. By the time this goes live, we might not even know. Who the fuck knows what's going to be happening? But certainly the numbers seem good right now. And they seem a lot better than they did in 2016, which is,
Yeah,
who knows? I don't want to talk about it anymore because I have nothing intelligent to say.
nobody does.
Let's see what happens. My second peach is that I threw a pumpkin off our roof last night, and it was fucking great. I highly recommend if you have a roof and a pumpkin, climb up on that shit and throw it off because it makes a pleasing thunk when it hits the ground and then spews pumpkin junk everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Spewing pumpkin junk. I think that's the episode title.
Ooh.
Spewing pumpkin junk. Spewing PJ. P junk. There we go. Spewing P junk.
That goes in the P tab.
Well, okay. The next part of this, which is even better, which I'll call part of this peach, is after this pumpkin smashed onto the ground from, I don't know how high the roof is, like 9 feet, let's say, something like that. We gave her a hammer and said, go crazy. And she just walked around the yard smashing this pumpkin to fucking bits. And at some point she knocked on the door and screamed, Daddy, come look at the destruction I made.
Oh.
Look upon my works, ye mighty in despair.
Audrey Mandius, yes. It was pretty great. And she was very happy. It was a full-on like claw hammer. And she's just walking around smashing a pumpkin. And it kept her occupied for a very long time, like a solid half an hour. Oh, it was so great. So if you have a 6-year-old, give that kid a hammer. They'll have a great time. My third peach is Bob James Radio on Spotify. Always good stuff. Got to hear a lot of smooth tunes this morning. And I told Audrey that we were listening to smooth jazz. And she thought I said smooch jazz, which
Basically is.
and then she started dancing around making kissy lips. So that was great. I guess a real peach, who knows what's going to happen to that first one, but we had a lovely Halloween. We had a backyard. We had one other family over and the kids went nuts together. Oh, yeah. So we did this drive-through. I'm just going to cram a bunch of stuff here where we drove through like a drive-through trick-or-treating thing. Don't get out of the car. And it was called Hauntoween. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. And the thing was, you would roll down your car windows, you just drive around with headlights off, windows down, and they had these baskets on like poles that they would fill with candy and then dump all over you in the car.
That rules.
And we got so much fucking candy. It was like a ridiculous amount of candy, like way more, probably like 3 Halloweens worth of candy.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
In a total net volume of candy. And it occurs to me, I'm probably on a very short list of people for whom this is possible. I got recognized by a fan while wearing my face mask.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I was like, I guess that makes sense because that's how this person has probably seen me the most.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the eyes.
It's the eyes, so I was very impressed. I mean, shocked that this kid was like, are you Ninja Brian? But I guess when you wear a mask all the time, people know what you look like with a mask on. It was pretty cool. We had to drive through. There was a lot more corporate sponsorship than I had anticipated. So we got to drive through a whole What We Do in the Shadows tunnel.
Nice.
I mean, that sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. You just getting candy dumped on you is pretty awesome.
A child's dream.
It is, although there was so much that at some point she was like, please, no more. Don't dump any more candy on me. And then when we got home, we had to decandify the car because there was just candy everywhere, under the seats, in little crevices. Well, I'm not complaining because it was fun, but there's a lot of fucking candy.
I will say that the best air freshener I've ever used is the one time I forgot 2 Starburst were right next to a vent. And I was like, why does my car smell so good?
That rules.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was just 2 Starbursts melting into the floor. So highly recommend you guys, if you want to have a little unsanitary thing in there, just shove a couple of tropical Starbursts because they're not good for eating, but they do smell good.
I remember reading, like, if you really want to get revenge on someone, what you should do is go into their house or apartment, wherever they live, with an abalone. It's a shellfish. It's like
Yeah.
Oh.
a very thin shellfish, and just hide it near their radiator and see what happens.
That's evil.
What?
Yeah.
The one I always thought would be really fucked up to do would be dumping micro glitter into the washing machine or the dryer
Oh,
and just letting it rest.
Ugh.
And hopefully they don't notice. I feel like that one's pretty evil.
I'm just gonna. Here's an open letter to glitter. Glitter, fuck you. Get out of my house. Not interested in you anymore. There's too much of you. And when you have a young child, there's a lot of fucking glitter stuff that happens, and it gets everywhere. It's really hard to clean up. It's bad for the everything.
Yeah.
Glitter, we should ban glitter. That's my campaign platform. Ban glitter.
Did you guys see the whole controversy over like that article about glitter sourcing and how that one lady was like, "Oh yeah, you would be shocked at what our biggest supplier is, but we really have to keep it a secret."
No.
Wow.
It's a really good article, and people were really digging, trying to find out what it was, and a lot of people were suspecting like, "Oh, is it put in food?
Wait. This is the question: is where they sell it or where they get it?
What's this industry that is so secret that like it couldn't possibly get out that they use a ton of glitter? Like, why would it be a problem that they have to keep it so hush hush?" And it seemed like the turnaround of people doing sleuthing was like for boats or like planes, especially military planes, for like the paint coating or something like that.
Oh, huh. I thought you were talking about where they source it from, where they get the glitter, and I was like, are they just like crushing a bunch of hamsters? And that's
Oh
where
my
glitter comes from?
As we all know, the hamsters are full of glitter.
Yeah. Well, they are. When you feed them glitter, they're full of glitter.
Speaking of weird sourcing, like last year, my dad, probably like 2 or 3 a.m., sent me a video, and the thumbnail was like dead bodies on like a warehouse floor. And then I kind of like played the thumbnail, and it was like scrubbing through, and it was like a motion of a guy with like a giant machete whacking away at these like dead bodies on the floor. And my dad's context was, "You should stop eating corned beef." Because apparently a couple corned beef manufacturers in China supplement corned beef with dead people.
What?
Yes. I had to delete the message because it was like too gruesome, but
Yeah.
that's what his message was.
But, okay. I mean, corned beef is like a preparation of beef. Are people buying pre-cooked corned beef from China?
Well, you know, like the canned corned beef?
Like corned beef hash. Like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, a thing that I think about a lot is that supposedly the flesh of your palm is the tastiest part of the human body.
Hold on. Let me check.
No.
Yes. Agreed.
It's like apparently really tender, like especially with like the bones. Also, human head weighs the same as a bowling ball. It's very heavy.
Wow.
Not that I know from experience.
That reminds me of a line from The Kids in the Hall, which is a Bruce McCullough character where he goes, "If my head were made of veal, which I know it is not, how much would it cost?" Anyway, Layden, Peaches.
First Peach is the Halloween show that I was a part of that I was kind of dying working on. Went really well. I really appreciate all of you who tuned in to watch it and were very sweet and supportive in the chat. I had no idea what the other ladies were doing, and so it was super cool to just kind of see it all come together because it was such a like weird, unique show. Like everything was totally different. Susie just like kicked ass being a host, and if she doesn't end up being the host for like some Crypt Keeper show, I'm going to be so mad because she just nailed it.
Cool.
But yeah, it was super delightful, and I'm glad that it went well. So I think eventually the VOD's going to be available for 6 days, but after that expires, I think I'm just going to put my set alone on YouTube because I'm super happy with it. And I have a little bit of that like postpartum creative depression where it's like, oh, what now? Peach number 2 is, I watched this terrible movie with my friends on Discord the other night called Fear.com.
Oh, I know Fear.com.
Yeah,
yes.
I've heard of that, yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Oh, it's so funny.
Is it from the 90s?
It's 2001, I think. Oh, it made no sense at all. So just like a very fun thing to watch with friends and roast. There was a good moment at the beginning where like old man drops his glasses and just verbatim exactly simultaneously me and a friend were like, "There was time now. Time enough at last." So, you know, just to appreciate Twilight Zone fuckers. So that was great. Just very healing right now to watch bullshit that you don't really have to pay attention to other than being like, why did that man just fly through the air? Which there was a lot of in that movie. And then Peach number 3 is tomorrow. My only plans are me and a friend got COVID tested, and we are just going to get drunk in his garage and like just hang out and probably watch horror movies to avoid the horror movie that is our current reality. So I'm looking forward to being around a human.
Are you going to throw some knives? Have you got new knives?
Yes. Yeah, probably. Might print out some pictures of particular people and put them on the little board.
All right, Jerik.
Peach number 1 was that the NSP album was number 1 on comedy Billboard.
Holy shit!
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
That was cool.
That was very cool. And you were a big part of that album.
Yeah, thanks. It was fun to be a part of. Learned a lot of cool things about music. That's one of the hugest peaches right now.
Well, I was pleased at the opportunity to share my genius with you.
Oh, one of my favorite memories. I don't know if you were there, but I think I was in the bathroom, and then Steve Perry was like in there, and he was reciting the chorus to "It's Bedtime."
Oh, yeah.
He's saying it was like stuck in his head.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest parts of recording that album is, Steve Perry from Journey came in the studio and hung out for a couple songs.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. That was really cool.
Second peach is I got to see some friends these past like 2 weeks safely. Got COVID tested and I went down to San Diego and we skated.
Nice.
And then the following weekend, it was my friend's wedding. Socially distant wedding outside. Everybody was wearing a mask. Disclaimer. And that was really nice to see people get married in this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last peach is I sent this video to Leighton already. I'm gonna send it in the chat, Bri.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, it's the funniest thing.
You walking too fast. I never seen Michael Myers do that. And I never seen him with their wig. But it's cool.
This very sparked joy for me.
Yes.
This is really great.
So you,
Oh, look at this kid.
Jamie, you wanna why you wanna wear the wig? You like a Michael Myers.
Mikael.
Yes, that's not Michael. That's
Sawi.
that's Michael Myers. That's like Grandma Myers.
Oh, that's very cute.
So everybody knows it's this Twitter video of, I guess, this woman and her son or brother is wearing this Michael Myers outfit. And he's like walking too fast to the theme song. He's like wearing his grandmother's wig. Which is the funniest part. And
Yes.
3, the woman calls him Michael Myers.
It's like a French thing. It's very
Yes.
cute.
So funny.
That's pretty great, dude.
There was also another wholesome Michael Myers costume video. Hold on, I'll drop it in the chat. It's just gives me a little bit of that serotonin.
Oh yes, this is so wholesome.
Hold on, I'm gonna watch this one too. Oh yeah.
Michael's got some moves.
Yeah.
Wow, that guy.
Also, this
can't
kid's got
dance.
some moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid was going for it.
Nothing brings me more joy than watching children do Fortnite dances. I think when it first started happening, I was irritated by it, but like, it is
They love it.
genuinely such a wholesome thing to me now where like I see a child floss and I'm like, hell yeah, man, get it.
Are these Fortnite dances?
Some of them are.
That's great.
Oh yeah, there's the flossing. Okay, there we go.
Ah.
That one I recognize. Very cool. Great.
Those are some good ones. Well, this has been a doozy of an episode. Very chaotic energy here today.
The 10 minutes that doesn't get cut will be a joy for everyone to listen to.
Yeah, new record for the amount we have to cut.
Well, if nothing else, it was a joy to hang out with you both.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously, this was a delight.
By the time this comes out, we may live in a different country. I don't know. Or the same country. Hopefully it's not the same country in many ways, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I hope everyone's doing okay this week. Just, don't be too hard on yourself for being stressed or unfocused.
And stay off Twitter.
Stay off Twitter, I think, is good advice all the time, but especially today and tomorrow and for the next 4 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
Neat.
Lit.
Oh, by the way, Jerik, I love that this is your thing now, saying lit all the time. It is one of my favorite things. Every time I think I've texted you for the past, I don't know, week,
Yeah.
your response has just been lit, and I really love it.
And also yeet.
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 Oh, that's a good one. I'm happy
Yeah.
that I could inspire some NSP tweets too. So
That's beautiful.
my job here is done. It's such a cringy word that I just like, I'm just gonna step on it more.
Which,
So,
yeet or lit or both?
both.
Yes.
Lit.
Yep, it's lit is definitely not lit, which is why it's lit.
Unlit.
Whenever you guys do get 300 Patreon subscribers, and Brian, when you do smoke weed for the first time in 20 years,
Yeah.
that episode has to be called Lit Tonight with Brian Wecht.
Yes,
Oh shit.
I love it.
Yeah, I guess for people who don't look at our socials, like neglectful ingrates, when we reach 300 patrons, whatever the fuck, we're gonna get Brian on some of that sick, nasty nar, just ripping some fat clout, some cumulonimbus.
Okay, so this is why when I wrote that, I was very careful to say ingest marijuana because I don't want to smoke. I will do edibles.
Would you do a vape, like a gentle vape? Because they make hardcore vapes, but they also make like vapes for people who don't smoke weed. They're very gentle.
I would need to find out more about it.
Like dosis pens are basically made for old people. Like it has a very controlled like puff. Like you can't just keep sucking on it. It's like, okay, here's your dose. You puff this long and then it stops.
I'm worried about everything about this,
Of course.
but I don't want to do anything that is carcinogenic. And I know edibles exist. So I feel like that might be the best option for me, although I know they take a while to kick in, which is why I'll
Yeah.
just keep eating more of them and more of them and more of them until they start. That's my strategy anyway.
Which I think that would almost be fun of we time it right where we're recording while you're waiting for it to hit, because there will be a moment where it starts to hit and then you just get to hear that happen.
Yeah, which I recognize that people want to see this, which is why I thought it would be a good idea. When I texted you late and I was like, this is probably a terrible idea. And then you were like, no, this is great.
It's what the people want.
But I'm legitimately scared. Like I have not,
Oh my God.
I smoked weed a couple times and it just did nothing. The one time, which was probably the first or second time I smoked, that I really felt something. It was not a good experience. I did not have a good time.
Oh.
That sucks. Some people are just like that, and it's always a bummer.
I never have a good time. I've never had fun.
Of course. We know this about you. This has been established. You hate fun. You hate watching people have fun.
Yes, that's what I do.
But yeah, I'll smoke weed with you, and I will take a fat, disgusting bong rip because my tolerance is insane, and I need enough weed to get a horse tripping balls. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whereas my tolerance obviously doesn't exist. Okay, here's what I'm not going to do. And this should be obvious, is I'm not going to do some like cop out and just like have something that's all CBD or some bullshit like that.
Sure. Yeah,
no,
of course.
Cool.
absolutely not.
Sick.
Just to be clear, I will get high and I will do it with THC involved. So that's my promise to you. How that substance gets in me, I don't know. And I'm open to anything. And I do mean anything.
There are suppositories.
Whoa.
We'll see. Always looking for an excuse for suppositories.
I do love that when you tweeted that out, I just got a ton of notifications of like new patron.
Yep.
So thank you all. Thank you for joining us, new ones.
What's the difference left?
I kind of timed it weird because we did it like the last or second last day of October. So we got like 14 new patrons right away. The overall number has gone down a little bit, but right now we're at 157, which is great.
Yeah.
Because when we made that promise, we were at 150. So that's a significant increase, but we still have quite a ways to go. So if you want to see me get high for the first time in a very long time, I mean, 20 something years, since I was 22 was the last time, we need to get to 300 patrons. So that's patreon.com/lateandnight.
We should do that as a video episode.
Yes, 100%.
Yes. Lit Tonight with Brian Wecht.
Let me say my catchphrase, 420 blaze it, which is what I'm known for saying. Get me some of that lit nar.
We will embark on the hunt for Green October. Jerik, thank you for being here today. Brian, go fuck yourself.
Hunt for Green October.
Everyone listening,
Pretty great.
be well, take care of yourselves. It's going to be a rough one. So,
Or not. We don't know. We have no idea.
we don't know.
Hopefully it's not.
This is the end of the podcast, I believe. Toodaloo.
Bye.
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 Late and Night is produced by Brian Wecht, Leighton Gray, and your boy, Jerik Centeno. Follow us on Twitter at Late and Night, on Instagram at Leighton_night, or email us at lateandnight@gmail.com.